Hari Om, Hari Om. Welcome everybody. I hope you can hear me. There we are again. Leo also comes, says hello. Come. There is Leo. He also participates on today's Satsang. Is there anybody who would like to come in? I have muted everybody, so if you want to talk, you have to turn on your microphone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
You can hear me. That's great. So, anybody who would like to talk, you are welcome. Otherwise, I'm starting with a question. Ron has asked me in writing, are you here, Ron? There he is.
Yeah, I am here.
Yeah. Do you want to elaborate on your question?
Sure. I was eating something. One sec.
Shall I come back
No, I'm
to
good.
you later?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, sometimes in our life, we can develop a certain mindset. For
Yes.
example, we probably all know people who complain all the time, or maybe we know people who maybe talk really loud all the time. And so in my life, a little more when I was younger, but I would make jokes all the time. Like I naturally knew how to make people laugh.
Yes.
And I think that is good to a certain degree. But I also think that sometimes I can develop a mindset where instead of being present, I'm kind of looking for a joke. Or if I feel uncomfortable, if I feel angry, if I feel afraid, instead of just feeling that emotion, I can I can look for the humor. And make a joke about it. I think that sometimes, and to a certain degree, that's okay. But I think for me, sometimes I developed a mindset where that's all I looked for. What's funny here? What's funny? And I think that in doing that, I got out of touch with my feelings and was not as completely present, or am not as completely present as I could be. And so I had a birthday recently, and I thought, for the next year, I'm going to stop making jokes. I'm going to intentionally discontinue that part of my personality. And I think it's a little risky in some ways, but I also think there's something to learn there. And I was interested in what your comment might be about that.
Yes. Well, basically, you said it already. Humor is a great thing. Humor is a gift of God. That capacity that we have as humans, that in the tense situation, suddenly we see the humor of the situation and start to laugh. It's like the tensions disappear, at least to some extent. It's a great relief. But of course, making jokes, then when it starts to become rather a compulsion, then it can become a bit an obstacle. Any mental compulsion is an obstacle, even if it's making jokes. It may be a bit drastic to decide not to make jokes at all. But you said often in the situation, immediately you start to seek what is funny, and maybe also how can I make a joke about it. And if you catch you doing that, then you can just drop it. But if it just bubbles up out of your joy, expressing your joy and make a joke in a situation, then there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. Maybe I would moderate your idea of not making jokes at all, that you just check a bit. Is it really a genuine expression of the joy that I'm feeling, or am I just looking for a way to evade a bit the situation?
Mm-hmm. The middle road.
Yes, and when you feel there is just a joy bubbling up and it wants to express itself in a joke, then why should you deprive the others around you from what is coming out of you?
Yes, I think that's better. I think
Right.
that's better.
But you can have a bit a look there, that when you see now, it's not really that the situation asks that I make a joke about, it's just my old compulsion, that there you cut it off.
That's thank you, Werner. I understand. Yeah, it did seem a little drastic.
Yes.
A little drastic. I thought I would learn something, but
Yes, as an exercise.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Maybe try it for a day instead of a whole year.
Right, you can do that. And if you are close with people, you may warn them, okay, today, no jokes.
Even that is funny.
Even that is funny. I mean, there is humor in every situation.
Yeah,
There is a humor in even the sad situation, in even the terrible situation.
right.
But of course, if it's a compulsion that we express it, then often instead of helping anything in the situation, we may just offend people. And I know that because I was a bit like that before. When I was in Switzerland, still, in a way, I felt like a stranger in a strange land, and the way to survive was making fun of everything.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how I felt. Yeah,
Right. And then, of course, it can often be very offensive to others.
yeah,
Then it's not a positive contribution to being together, but it's just a compulsion to somehow deal with the situation, trying to pull it into something funny, even if obviously people are not ready to follow that and rather get offended by it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, especially when the joke is about somebody.
Yes,
You know, we
when
can
it's
speak the
become
truth.
cynical, when it's become cynical.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. Uh, but humor is a great thing. It's not that it's a bad character trait. I mean, it's great if you are open to humor. And if in a tense situation, it comes really from your heart, that you can somehow point out the funny aspect of it, then it may be a great thing that you can do. That it helps you and it helps the people around to deal with the situation in another perspective. When we are completely taking it everything so serious, then people are so locked in their personality. And if at the moment you can see, oh, there is a funny aspect, and laugh and relax, then it broadens the perspective. It's a great thing, humor. Just making jokes as a compulsion, there you can work on it.
Okay. Thank you, Werner. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. It's early in the morning.
Yeah, it's about 4:30.
4:30, my God,
Yeah.
my God.
But I went to bed early,
Awesome.
so I'm okay.
Good, great. Okay. Anybody else? If you want to come in, please come.
Hello, Werner.
Hello, Klaus.
Hi, good to see you.
Good to see you. How is it going?
Oh, it's good. I had a vacation, so I've been out in the mountains and back to work now. So it's a bit strange coming back to work.
Yeah.
But it's the weeks before it was. I just felt like it was really just flowing and everything just effortless. But when I got back to work, you know, I feel like I don't get the time to rest or to. I feel like the pace is too quick, so I cannot recover. And I had a lot of stress this spring also, so I get a lot of sleepless nights because I think the body is more tense than the thought is. So it almost seems like the body is later than the mind in terms of reactions.
So you have sleepless night, not because you work also whole night. It's just after the work you are so worked up that you can't sleep.
Yeah, I think so. It's something is don't come to rest. So when it starts to become 10, 11, 12 in the night, then I just get more fired up. So instead of getting tired, I just get more awake.
Yeah. You are not even going to bed, or you are in bed and try to sleep and you can't sleep.
I try to go to sleep, but I can't sleep, and then maybe if I'm lucky, I get to sleep around 2, 3 o'clock, and then it's up at 7. So it's not so good.
Right. When you come back from work, take some time where you are just relaxing. Just do nothing for some time, and just relax physically as good as you can, energetically as good as you can, emotionally as good as you can, and then do whatever you do normally when you are back home. And then when you go to sleep and you can't sleep, and after some time you accept, okay, right now it seems not to work, maybe then you sit up in bed, or you get out of bed and sit, and you just meditate for some time. You may start to get sleepy while meditating, and then you go to bed and sleep. After all, these are the two obstacles in meditation for people. Either they are too restless, or then that sleepiness comes. of course, the mind will resist. If you are in bed and you want to sleep, then and the thought comes, I could get up and sit for some time and meditate, and the mind says, oh, I'm not not in a mood, I don't want to sit and meditate. But if in spite of that you do it, then maybe within short while you will calm down, and then the sleepiness comes all by itself. And when that starts to come, you may just go to bed and go to sleep. And if it's not working all this time, you are in bed, and then try not to fight against the fact that it is so.
Yeah.
Because the more you do that, the more you work yourself up and the less you can sleep.
Yeah.
But try to also, when you are not going to meditate, or when you come back from a moment of meditation and you can still not sleep, try to just accept, okay, that's how it is. So let me make the best out of it. Instead of struggling against it, relax consciously. Relax all parts of the body. Go from the feet to the head, and from the head to the feet. Relax the body, breathe consciously and relax. And then you don't feel so stressed not sleeping, and actually it can become quite a good experience. And in that experience, then also the sleepiness may come quicker back. Definitely quicker than when you fight against it, when you are thinking, no, 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 I want to sleep, I can't sleep. And that emotion gets stronger and stronger. And of course, then it's very difficult finally to sleep.
Yeah.
But if you can accept, okay, there I'm going again, there it's again, I can't sleep, so let me full-heartedly accept this situation and make the best out of it. Then I'm getting something very precious from that situation. And then you're also not getting so tired that in the morning, even if you didn't sleep so much, but if you treat it like that you accept it and relax in it so as good as you can, then in the morning when you get up, you still will feel refreshed, even if it's less hours real sleep.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
The worst part in a negative experience is always that we resist against the fact as it is. The experiences in themselves are maybe not so terrible, but then if we don't like a situation, then immediately that comes that no, no, no. And that is actually which is really draining our life force.
Yeah, I think maybe I'm afraid what happens if I don't get sleep and it stays like this for many days and weeks, because I just feel like the summer has until now it's been very good and very light and very easy to live, and I really appreciate that a lot. And now I feel like I cannot sleep, and I think, okay, am I going to get drained again? No energy. And I think the catastrophe thinking is coming in on top of this, because I'm afraid that I cannot handle the consequences of not sleeping.
Right, and by being afraid of it, of course, you invite it much more that it is going to happen like this.
Yeah.
And if you see that fear, then accept the fear and watch the fear, and don't encourage it. It's going to be terrible, it's going to be terrible, but just here, now, you see that fear and you accept that fear is there, you accept that right now I cannot sleep, and relax as good as you can, and you will see, then it's not that your energy level is going down, it's mainly going down because of the fear and the resistance and resisting against the situation and being afraid it's getting worse and worse. So we're inviting it's getting worse and worse. But the more you are capable of accepting, the less you lose your energy. The more, even if you sleep less, in the morning you feel refreshed and actually as if something nice, something profound has even happened.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, we can always at least attempt. It may not always be a total success, but if we don't attempt, then nothing happens. But if we try and try again and try again to deal with situations in the way I have been talking about, then gradually it starts to function better and better. And then these fears disappear. Oh, what's going to happen if this and that happens? What's going to happen? Am I going to be down again? Am I going to be in a dark hole again? And these fears, actually, they are the best invitation that it is going to happen.
Mm.
The more you can learn to accept pleasant and unpleasant circumstances, what is happening in your life, the more you can be relaxed and the more you are in touch with your energy, with the source of your energy. And then also in more trying times, you will see that you have lavishingly energy there. You have plenty of energy. It's only if we cut it with resistance, then we feel that our energy is getting less and less and less. Look at it as a challenge. We are here for that. We are here to learn, to grow, to outgrow difficulties. So difficulties should not be met with the idea, oh no, it should not be there, but okay, that's on my way, that's on my path. So let me deal with it and learn from it and grow with it.
Mm. Yeah, because it's quick to think that, oh, I'm doing something wrong because I had this peace and I had this energy and I was in this flow, and now I'm back to work again, and I am not doing the right thing since I'm out of the flow. I'm not meditating. I'm not, or I'm getting more material minded or anything like that. You know, it's many thoughts that can come up when you are feeling you're losing your touch with the self.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, the mind will come up with such stuff and look for mistakes. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? But I mean, it's very normal that if you have been out of the usual situation, which was rather stressful, and you could gain a certain amount of peace and equilibrium, and then you are suddenly back there, and the stress is there, that it has the tendency to overwhelm you without you doing really something wrong.
Mm.
But with the additional strength that you have gained from that period where it was easier, instead of judging you and say you're no good or you're doing something wrong, you can say, okay, now let me face this as a challenge. Things are as they are, and there is no point in judging myself. And it's not astonishing that in that situation you feel again more pulled into the old way of functioning. But then when you see it, instead of judging you, you say, okay, it's just as it is, and it's the old habit is bound to try to overtake, but let me face it as a challenge and not think something is wrong. Yes, okay, this is the exercise in my life right here and now. I have to face and deal with it. And if we deal with it positively, okay, accepting it's there, then it's really the negative experiences, the unpleasant and not the easy situations are really often those situations segment. Oh, now it's. Have you heard everything I said?
I think I lost the last 15 seconds.
Oh yeah, right. Just was asking whether you still can hear me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
Get that confidence.
Yeah.
And the confidence comes with little steps. We can go about it with baby steps. But always make a step, not hesitate making a step. And with each step, the self-confidence comes a bit more. And the more you have confidence, the easier it becomes to deal with situations.
Yeah. So it's just also to. I think that I also had a idea that the thing would be easier after it seemed like I've been able to let go of things, but also that path of learning also that can come in front of us, the lessons that are there, and maybe it's they have to come as they are. So
right. But of course, the mind thinks it should be easier now.
Yeah.
And we like to imagine that development, that unfoldment goes like a nice curve like that.
Yeah.
But life is going like that.
Yeah.
If you can make an average, it's still that curve.
Yeah.
But when it's seemingly on a downward curve, then there is the total resistance and think it was all for nothing. I've lost everything, but it's not so. It's superficially it can give the impression, but that which counts you're not losing. It's there, and it's supportive, and it helps you. We just have to learn to really have the courage to connect with it and not handicap ourselves, but when it's getting a bit not as easy as we have imagined, then think, oh, it was all for nothing, or I've lost it again, and it should have been more, or something with these thoughts. If we keep on repeating them, then we handicap that possibility to use what we have accumulated, that strength that is there.
Yeah.
Anyhow, try.
I'm grateful for your advices, Werner. It's very good.
You are most welcome. Now your picture has again stopped. I don't know.
Yeah.
You had again a hole, or you heard me?
I heard the last part that only that the picture had stopped. So
Yeah.
I think the connection is a bit.
Yeah, that must be here. I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, it's okay.
Maybe it's
But
here.
yeah. But it's fluctuating always here with the connection. And I just recently asked an expert whether I should have other devices than my phone to connect the computer with, but two people told me that all these external devices, they have the same limitation, and if I'm out here, then I just have to bear with it that the connection is not so good. That's it. So far we could always do it. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's been very clarifying for me. So thank you very much, Werner.
You're welcome. I wish you well.
Thank you.
And if in future you feel you need to talk about it, then you just come back. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. If there is anybody else who would like to talk, please come in.
Hello, Werner.
Hello. How are you?
Namah Shivaya. I'm
Oh,
good, thank
Namah
you.
Shivaya. Shridev is your name, huh?
Yes, it is.
Shri.
I would like to ask what is a right amount of intensity that we need to realize the self? Because some masters said we really need big intensity. It's like you are in a house in fire.
Mm.
And some other teachers say that you need to relax in this, because if you put too much pressure, it's not something that you can obtain. But I don't know what is the right balance between effort and non-effort, and I don't find, sometimes I think I'm not intense enough or I'm not seeking enough. So I would like to have some advice from you, please.
Actually, the two, they seem to be opposites, but they are not. Or like Ramakrishna said, that if one wants to realize God, that person should be like somebody who is held underwater and not left to the surface, and there's only one thought to come up and breathe, and there's new air. That the desire for God has to be like this. And on the other hand, in order to really get somewhere, you have to learn to relax. Now, how much effort should we put in? We have, of course, we have to understand that it's not like sort of a business. It's not that we have to have a certain amount of effort and then finally we gain the prize. It's not that we can calculate it in any way. What we are looking for is already there, here, now. It's that which makes this moment possible. It's that which makes the experience possible. Now, we cannot just avoid all the efforts because we are anyhow out of habit making efforts all the time. And those efforts, they are most of the time rather to pull the attention away from the essence, just out of habit that I'm functioning as a me, I personality, and then to keep that me, I personality up, we're making a lot of effort without being aware that we are doing that. And so we don't get around the effort to learn to recognize that, and then learn to detach from it, and learn not to do that anymore. And so it becomes like that we have to make an effort to see what kind of efforts we are doing, but then the way to deal with it is really to learn to relax it, to let go. But the more that sincere longing for truth is there, the more then also we'll start to be sincerely observing and see what's going on, and not simply have some kind of spiritual idea in the head, but have a good, honest look at ourselves and see what is the obstacle? What is it that we are doing all the time? And then work on that, not to repeat the old patterns that are destructive and that pull the attention so away from the peace of existence, not to repeat them all the time. Now, how we are going about it, it's different from one person to another, and each one has to somehow figure out for themselves that right equilibrium between really making an effort, a stern effort sometimes, just to bring the attention back and not to go running around, and then learn to relax in it. Sometimes it may be also a period is very good that we, with a lot of will, work on it and try it, but then we have to stop that again and learn to see it and relax, and see it and relax, and see it and relax. And if you listen to your heart, if you see what's going on and how it's reacting, then you find for yourself what is the healthiest, the proper way to go about it. Because characters are different. Like I read once in a Zen book long ago, but I remember that there was that Roshi with his disciples, with the students who came and sat with him, and to some he would advise, you really have to struggle, to force, to strain, to concentrate. And others, he would say exactly the opposite. Just relax, relax, don't strain, don't strain, don't strain. And actually, it's something that we have to learn to feel out for ourselves. Where is the middle ground that is the healthiest way for us? It makes sense that sometimes we force a bit when the mind is going on, and you say stop, and you try to relax, and you try to withdraw from it, and it's just the attention is pulled in again, that for a moment you strain a bit and say no, but then relax in it. Don't just stay there, because if you stay there, at a certain moment you explode, and then and it's getting worse. And so you can a bit play with effort, relax, effort, relax. It's not that the intensity is decreasing by relaxing. The intensity is decreasing when we just wander around with our attention somewhere. But actually, if you are here now and you're relaxing, that the intensity of that experience keeps on increasing in that relaxation. It's not simply by stern, strainful efforts that intensity is increasing, but being here and relaxed in that, being aware of the timelessness of the present, is enormously increasing the intensity of the experience, of the life intensity, of the life force, of the consciousness. So how we approach that, figure out for yourself. And if you feel for some time you have been straining a bit too much, then you can very well reduce without being afraid that you're going to miss the train because of that. But you try sincerely just to remember to watch. And as soon as you become aware, in my relaxation now I'm completely wandered off, then don't encourage that wandering off and dream along with it, but at that moment you simply bring the attention back. That sincerity is required, but it need not be a strainful process all the time. We can do it playfully, relaxedly. The two are not separate, strain and relax. And for some people, straining a lot is the natural thing to do. It's the harder approach, straining, straining, straining. But some people can't help it, so they have to strain. But you can do it a bit like consciously, strain, relax, strain, relax, strain, relax. Then it has still a playful nature and it doesn't lose any of its intensity.
Also, maybe what is important is to be constant in our effort and sadhana.
Right, as good as we can. It helps. And now we are here, so it's most probably easier. But like the person before just said, after that, if you are suddenly again in the professional life and the stress is there, then it's not always so easy to keep that awareness. But then it helps if you have every day some time doing nothing else and really reinforcing that. And then if the usual habitual day-to-day life in society, in a job, in a family comes, that intent is there to remember as good, as constant as one can. And even if it happens, then suddenly we become aware, oh my God, so much time has passed and I didn't really have a conscious moment there. Then don't waste your time judging yourself and berating yourself and think, oh, it's bad, but at that moment, just the moment you become aware, you reconnect again. And then it remains a moment and may go again. The moment you become aware, you reconnect again and relax in that connection. And if we do that consequently, it becomes gradually more and more permanent. And eventually it becomes so natural that it spontaneously is simply there, effortlessly.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So if it's not continuous, don't think, oh, it's bad, I'm never going to get anywhere. Just make that intent to remind yourself to remember. And whenever you remember, not start the lamentation, but at that moment, no big fuss, just connect. Whether you are sitting in meditation or whether you are walking in the busy street, whether you are alone or whether you are talking to people, the moment you remember, you just connect and relax. If you do that consequently, that permanence, that continuity will come more and more. It's not something we can just decide from now on. I'm continuously doing it, and after that it is there. We can decide to attempt it, and then after that we have to deal with the old habits that pull the attention away again and again. But with patience, with perseverance, old habits can be neutralized, and then it becomes easier and easier. Okay. Now the second one also wants to come and say hello. Hey, Jasmine, come. Hello, there is Jasmine. Before it was Leo, now we have Jasmine here. Hey, you are online, Jasmine. They can see you here and in Europe and in America. Okay, I'll let you go. Okay. Anybody else? If there is anybody else who would like to talk, please come in. You're welcome.
I have another question,
Yes.
Werner. So sometimes my back bothers me and I cannot sit and meditate. When I do sit and meditate, I usually follow my breath. But if I have trouble with that, I use mantra. I'm a mantra.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about the difference, if there is a difference, between the practice of following our breath and the practice of doing our mantra. I know for me, when I'm out and about in my life, it's sometimes easier to use the mantra because I can use it, I can be repeating it as I'm doing various activities during the day. And once again, I didn't use it for a number of years, but now I'm starting to use it again. Could you please talk about maybe the difference, if there is one, between those two practices?
Yeah. It depends also how you are doing the mantra. You can do the mantra more in a devotional way and connecting either with the one who gave you the mantra or with the whatever the mantra is
Chosen
about.
deity.
The
Yes.
chosen deity. It's about a deity, your mantra.
Yeah, actually, it isn't. When I got the mantra, I was involved in Zen practice. And so my mantra is not about a deity, which, that was another thing, is that Amma said for most people, it's best to have a deity. But for me, I thought that would cause a problem.
Yeah.
And so I chose a mantra that there's no deity. And so.
Right. So it's not particularly in a devotional way that you are doing the mantra, but more like a means to be conscious in the present.
Yes.
Right. And if you really do the mantra like this, there is hardly a difference really from that and following your breath, except that following your breath is also, of course, more involving the body. And unless you are really totally relaxed about it, it may become a bit too stern, a bit too hard in certain situations to follow the breath, and then it's easier to be with the mantra, and there's absolutely nothing wrong to have the combination of the two. That in times where you are more quiet and it's easier, that you follow the breath, and then in other times that you do the mantra. Nothing wrong with that.
Good, good.
Now you said sometimes you cannot sit because the back is paining. And then
my back has been bothering me for a while. Even if I lay down and sleep, it's not a problem. But if I lay down and hold one position, that bothers it too. So it's become difficult. I can do yoga. I'm doing yoga, and I'm kind of new to yoga. I'm doing yoga, and as best I can, I'm doing the I am practice.
Yeah.
So actually, I've never been flexible. So I've done a lot of sitting, but I've never been flexible. So I can't really sit in a proper position, even though I can do it when my back isn't bothering me. But now it hurts, even a chair, it hurts it.
Yeah. Then sit only short times and then rather get up and walk gently or lie. You can then shift from sitting, lying, and getting up, maybe simply standing a while, but also if you have the possibility to just walk a bit to and fro somewhere. That's an activity that doesn't need attention. It happens all by itself, and you can still continue your meditation. Then And then when you feel you're ready again, you can try to sit again a moment. But if it's too hard, then don't force yourself too much.
Thank you. Thank you. I
And
do a lot of hiking.
Don't feel anything bad about, am I then not right with one practice if I'm always doing the other? You
Yeah,
can merge
yeah.
the two. The
Okay.
breath and the mantra, that's absolutely no problem.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're welcome. I know now, because the two dogs, they were coming here and they're sitting close and are very alert because nearby somebody is burning crackers. So when it's making bang, 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 they rather feel insecure and come close. Leo just made his place under the table here. Jasmine is right beside. Don't worry because of these crackers. No, they are over there. No harm there. Yeah, there is again one. Huh? The dogs have big difficulties to understand that humans find it so fantastic and interesting to to burn crackers, and they do that a lot here in India. Any possible celebration is with a lot of firecrackers, a lot of noise, but the dogs are not too happy about it.
Werner?
Yes, hello.
Hi. Hi. I would like to ask you if it's okay to ask this. If you would like
Sure, try.
if you would like to share a bit more just about your story. I know you spent some time with Amma and maybe of your meditation or anything that you could share.
Well, I mean, I could talk for 2 hours. And I don't think it's the place that I'm starting to tell my story here. But I'm often including little bits of what I've experienced when I talk to somebody. But if I'm starting to tell, many people also know my story quite well, and I don't want to bother them. And if I start to tell my story, then I can go on and on and on and on. Is there not maybe something more specific that you would like to know?
Yes, maybe. I don't know if it's even okay to ask, but excuse me if it's not, but more about the time where you find realization. I also don't know how to express it, but especially what was it for you, like how you managed to stop the seeking, because you have spoken that before you were very intense in your seeking, and how do you manage to finally relax?
Right. Even the word realization I'm not really using ever, because it has become such a funny thing on the market, the enlightenment and the realization. Previous, I used to have also all kinds of ideas about it, what it's going to be out. I want to realize, I want self-realization, and imagining all wonderful things that, that it is going to be, thinking that is then the end of the story. And at a certain time in my life, I became aware that you can rotate into a totally new perspective. It's not the end of a story. An old chapter is finished, but then a new chapter starts. And from there, a new development begins. even if it's with an entirely different attitude and basic experience. Now, my way to get closer to that point was, I mean, when I have met Amma, I had been doing all kinds of practices before, but then I had been for 1 year in an ashram in Bombay studying Vedanta, but then I felt this is not my cup of tea. That's okay if one wants to do that, but I felt like sitting, meditating more, and when I came to Amma, she told me, okay, you can sit, you want to sit, so don't do anything else. That's what I did after that, as good as I could. That was my approach, to sit and sit and sit and sit and sit, day and night. It was not that it became quickly more peaceful. In contrary, for some time it was getting worse and worse, as there was all stuff coming to the surface, but then gradually over the years, it quietened down, and the periods where it was really peaceful became more. So that the confidence grew. But then somehow before I was ready to let go, Amma drove me for some time through a real terrible, difficult period. Before she was very supportive in what I was doing, and then suddenly she took that support away, and I thought something is totally wrong, and getting very restless, and then all the energies built up over the years of meditation, all the time were getting completely up and out of control, and it was going up and down and left and right in my body, and I was getting more and more restless, and instead of getting any support from her and from outside, she completely withdrew from that and giving me the feeling I've missed, I've lost it. I'm going crazy, telling it to the people. Oh, Werner has done this and that. Now he's getting crazy, and I was getting more and more crazy. This went. After that, I stopped sitting all the time and thought I have to be a good boy and work now like everybody else. And in that period, it's still, I really was for some time on a total trip and didn't know what is real, what is unreal, what I hear, what I see, what is real, what is unreal. And then in that period, I understood, hey, no, nothing is really lost. I was afraid that all my efforts are wasted, all has gone down the drain, that eventually, if it's going on like this, I may end up in the loony bin instead of getting enlightened. Is a kid there who would like to come and participate? Is a kid of yours there that would like to come and participate?
A what? A kid?
Yeah, boy or a girl? No, somebody is there. A kid.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still me, sorry.
It's me, Werner.
It's you. You're the kid.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah. No, it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing that you could support you almost she drive you crazy. You went really to the edge, and then I mean, it's beautiful, but it's very hard. I mean, and who can support that, you know?
Right. Well, I didn't very gracefully support it at that time.
Yeah.
But she knew also perfectly well how far she can push me that I'm not going irreparably over the edge. And it was, now when I look back, it was in a way a logical continuation from what I have been doing before, because my approach was rather aggressive all the time. Are you in the same place, you and Andrena?
No.
Because she was looking to the side whether, and then I thought somebody is there and would like to come in.
No. I just had this feeling to tell you that. That's
Yeah.
all. We can
Are you still there, Andrea?
Yes, I'm still here. I turned down my camera when Cyril came on, but I'm still here.
Yeah, you can keep it on. Anyhow, in that period, I understood when I started to work, hey, it's not really something lost. It's just something I have to go through. And I can say, in a way, for the first time in my life, I was ready to accept I haven't a clue what's going on. I don't know what's going on. After all that I have read, after what I have studied, after all I have been done, what the people have been talking, I felt I know very well. I knew everything. I knew what is the highest, and everything else is somehow below and below my dignity to connect with that. And then everything crumbled down, and I had to accept I don't have a clue. That's the first time in my life that I was at that point really understanding and accepting, okay, I don't have a clue. There's something going on. I just have to somehow hang on and get through it. And then when I didn't resist anymore what was happening, then the mind also calmed down, because before it was desperately holding on to something. Previous, I was there on the Advaitic approach and said, it's unreal, it's just a dream. But when the reality really crumbled down, then I desperately tried to hold on to something real. There was nothing anymore. And then finally, peace came, and out of that, the new experience emerged. It was not that the old reality reformed itself again, but a totally new experience, how I'm experiencing myself, how I'm experiencing this whole story, what this whole damn thing is about. But also all my old concepts, including that final realization and all that stuff, they didn't make sense anymore. I could see they made sense in a certain time to give a goal, to give an inspiration, to go the way, but somehow all that didn't make any sense anymore. There is just life, there's just consciousness, and that keeps on developing and developing, and there's no end to that. But you can come to a point where you stop suffering, where you stop creating always that tension, that pain, either on the material level you want something and you don't get it, or then you start to get spiritual and you want something and get all painful for not getting that. But you can come to the point where you just playfully, joyously go from day to day like a child, astonished what is happening, and let the experience unfold in a harmonious, natural way from there. And there's no end to that. So my connection with Amma was, in my story, very essential. She encouraged me a lot to practice, and then when it was time, she created all that situation that everything that I was still holding on to so strongly started to crumble down. At that time, I was just totally pissed with her. Sometimes I was pissed with myself, thinking, oh, she had so great hopes in me, and I missed it all. My ego destroyed it all. And sometimes I thought, oh, I had so much faith in her, and now everything has gone wrong, and she miscalculated. And sometimes there was tremendous anger towards her, thinking she doesn't care, or she missed the point and everything has gone wrong. But now when I look back, then I thought it was a real masterpiece of her, and all that is left is a lot of gratefulness for that help and for that support. After that I left, that was 1990, came here, 2.5 years, not knowing whether I ever go back. Still sitting some, but not like before, sitting, but it was more a matter of the new experience, the new energy, to let it settle down, to solidify. But then after 2.5 years, I felt I want to sit again more, not like before. Previous, I was sitting goal-oriented, thinking I have to work, I have to work, I have to work, that I attain something, however you call it, that I'm working towards a goal. And that idea of a goal had completely gone, but it had become natural that to intensify what is here, that experience of the now, it has become natural that I sit again more. So I wrote to Amma, okay, I'm going to sit again more. Maybe I'm doing it here in Tiruvannamalai. Maybe I'm going to the Himalayas, find a nice place there. Or if she's interested, I can also come back and do it there again. And then she was interested. So I went back. She didn't try to pull me again in a close external story. I didn't try to hang on to her skirt again. But then I went back to my cave. For 3 months I came out, and then I felt it's time again to close the door and stay there. I didn't make any plans. I just felt this is what is good for me. It is what I have to do. And then somehow 7 years passed there until I came out again. But it was not at all like what I did before, that I was there and straining and struggling and trying to go somewhere, but simply going from day to day and letting that experience unfold in its own natural way. So I stayed for another 7 years, but then I left together with Sudha, and we are living now for 20 years here in Tiruvannamalai.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Another question comes to mind, but maybe I want to wait in case someone else wants to come in.
No, come in. Just pose the question.
Okay, it's just that, well, you speak of this just letting go and feeling the now and sort of feeling, you know, that the source of the attention or yourself or however we can call it. And I feel that sometimes there is this experience where when sitting, that is just this release, and it's just this sort of just being in this space. But after a while, always there arises this question that it is actually just another phenomenological experience, this calm, and that there must be something that is experiencing this calm. So then this seeking appears to try to observe the calm, and then just the calm is gone. So I always have this doubt when there is this pure resting, if it's not becoming just phenomenological numbness, or, you know, and if I should be seeking for what is observing this, or if I should just rest there.
Both. It's good to keep that openness of not sort of, after meditating for some time, one may get into a quite pleasant state, and then the tendency is there that one settles down there a bit and just in a way it's like in a dream state, and after that goes up from that meditation and thinks I had a very nice good meditation. But you don't have to disturb that peacefulness of that experience also. It's a relative peace when the mind calms down to a good degree, and then compared to the usual working of the mind, it feels very peaceful. You need not question the value of it and think it's okay, it's maybe just a logical outcome of sitting there and then I'm getting numb, so I'm feeling also peace. If you are aware, conscious, and there is peace, it is an experience, then it comes, it is there for sometimes, and then it goes again. But these experiences, these periods, they are very helpful. They are purifying. In this calmness, in this peacefulness, a lot of stuff that we are carrying along in the subconscious may simply go without having even the need of coming totally to the surface, that you have to deal and analyze it and get rid of it. But it's very purifying. So by all means, when it's happening, don't doubt the value of it, but you can keep that alertness of not somehow starting to shut down on that level and getting numb, mentally numb, but keep that freshness. What are you doing when you are meditating? Can I ask you that?
I don't know how to. I'm just feeling, maybe I could say, sort of expanding and just feeling, and sometimes trying to sort of try to turn the attention towards what could be experiencing, although this is still very conceptual for me. But
Yeah.
I think I just sit there and let unfold whatever needs to unfold. But then there come these concepts, remember you have to turn, remember you have to see what is seeing. And I remember many stories of teachers who say that yogis can be many lives just lost in this numbness, or even in samadhi, and they are not realizing their true nature. And
don't have to take this story so serious. But you can just keep that alertness, that it doesn't become a numbness. And
okay. But it can
I
also
mean,
become
to say, as I say it a lot, to turn back to that which makes the experience possible is in a way just a way to talk about something that you cannot really express. There is no turning anywhere. But you still can remind yourself, but maybe even ask without looking for somewhere where it comes from, where that source is, but just to keep that alertness there. But what makes this peace, this peaceful experience possible, and relax in it without trying to find it, without trying to figure it out, without turning anywhere. And then keep that openness, and that's all you need. Relax in that. Relax, 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 and stay alert in spite of that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Sorry. Cyril, did you want to come in? I didn't want to forcibly cut you off, but
No.
no.
Everything, all is fine. All is fine. All is fine. I just wanted to share that moment.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank
fine.
you.
Is there anybody who would like to come in?
Hello, Werner.
Hello, Nelly.
Hello.
Hello. I hear you. Don't you hear me?
Yes, hello.
Yeah.
I hear you very good. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Good. Good.
I want to share my yesterday experience in meditation. Last time I see how strong old habits are, and I feel some worries. Also, I don't have any important problems, but this habit to worry about something is sometimes is very strong. And
There are
yesterday
so
I
many
was sitting and
possibilities to there are so many possibilities to worry about, huh?
yes, yeah. And yesterday I was sitting. Yes, even if there are no problems at all, but this habit is strong sometimes. And I sat yesterday in meditation and saw how many thoughts I have in my head. Some worries that I should do this thing and that thing, and when this time is finished, when I stop meditation, and I should go on with my business, and so on. I had in my head, and when the hour passed, and I saw I heard the gong of the finishing of my meditation. I suddenly felt some relax, at least.
Yeah.
And I felt something more than these small worries. I didn't move and went on sitting. It's just I connected with something bigger than all these voices in my head that disturbed me and crying to do something else. Some quietness and some strength inside. And these voices went on disturbing me, telling that I should stop sitting and the time is over, I should go. But I didn't pay attention at it, and went on sitting. And this time I remembered Amma again, and I felt a lot of gratitude to her and to you, and a lot of support I felt inside me for this performance that I got. So because it's very precious for me. So I saw how it is possible to feel another way, not be attractive so much in all these worries and all these voices. So appreciate it very much.
Yeah, yeah.
Today I didn't have something like this in my meditation, but it's okay. I don't care about it, and but I didn't have. But I had didn't have some worries today, and it was quiet. But it's just interesting thing that I observed yesterday.
Yeah, it's inspiring to continue if such things happen. That it's not simply talk, but really you can exist without all that mental stuff. Huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it supports a lot.
Yeah.
Inspires.
For that, these experiences are very valuable. Often, I'm rather when people talk about experiences, and I see they take their experience very important, and maybe there is a lot of pride about it. They tell them, hey, experiences are experiences. They come, they go. It's still an experience, but actually they are these kind of experiences, they are good, they are purifying, they are inspiring. And it's great that you, even if it's not more there, then you can remember, and that very memory of that state, of that experience is inspiring to continue, that it's worth the trouble to sit again and listen to the worries and learn not to get attached to them.
Yes, I remind myself this experience and say that the best thing to do is to be here and now, not matter what I do.
Yes.
But I try to remind this all
That's
the
good.
time.
Continue like this. Very good.
Thank you very much, Werner.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for your support. Thank you.
You're always welcome.
Thank you very much.
Is there anybody else? You have a little more time.
Werner?
Hello.
Hello.
This is
Rebecca.
Maya? No,
No,
Rebecca.
Rebecca. Yeah.
Rebecca, yes.
Yeah, I would like to ask you because I have my personal mantra on which I meditate, but
Yes.
on the last couple of months, there is another mantra that it is coming to me without looking for that, no? And when, for example, when I'm in maybe in some situation that I need to be present or I need to put much more attention on me, is the one which is coming automatically. And
The new one.
yeah,
The new one is coming. Yeah.
And I'm feeling it so much devotional than the one I have. The one I have, I feel that it's my mantra for focus my attention, as you said before.
Yeah.
But that one is coming in much more devotional way, and I don't know how to do. I don't know if I have to change my mantra, or I can.
Actually, it's nothing wrong having two mantras.
Mm-hmm.
What I would recommend now is that you still spend some time every day. You consciously do your old mantra you have been doing now for a long time. Don't lose the connection, the touch completely. And then you can open up and let the mantra emerge that wants to. And if there is that new mantra that came out of space to you there and wants to insist that now you connect with that, then you can very well do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. And especially if you feel that that new mantra is connecting with a devotional side, that maybe you feel that's necessary to open a bit, to intensify. That mantra may help you. Oh, Sridev, turn off your mic. Oh, very good. It's already off. Okay, Rebecca, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. Especially if now you feel that's on the program, that the devotional aspect of you that should develop a little more, that the heart should open more, and somehow this mantra connects with that aspect, then by all means let it be there and use it. But don't give up completely the connection to your old mantra. Maybe the new mantra is there for some time, and then it may go away again, and you're still having your basic mantra that you had now.
Okay. Yeah, it has sense what you are saying, because I'm feeling that kind of openness that I haven't before.
Yeah.
And even, for example, today doing my Hatha yoga practice in some extension asanas, I'm feeling that kind of open that I didn't feel before. So should I keep working with that?
I would say that you just continue as you have been doing, and you let it, you are open to that opening. Don't close it, don't resist it, and let it take its own course.
Okay.
It's not that you have to somehow find the spot and then open.
Yeah.
Just continue joyously with your practice, and that opening will happen more and more all by itself.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Werner.
you're welcome. Is there anybody who would like? Because otherwise, we're stopping for today. Okay. I guess then that's that. I'm going to turn off the recording.
Hina.